It's a Tuesday night and you're 22 years old, sitting in a parked car outside your apartment with two emails open on your phone. The first is a job offer. Salary $62,000 a year. Benefits, a badge that gets you into a glass building downtown, and a manager named David who called you a great culture fit. The second email is nothing. It's blank. It's a domain name you bought for $11 last week and a half-finished landing page for a business idea nobody has ever paid you a cent for. Two roads, same starting line. Same hunger, same broke bank account with $400 in it. And in 10 years, one version of you will barely recognize the other. Let me show you both, because the split doesn't happen where you think it does. So you accept the job. Both of you, actually. Because this story runs in parallel, and I want you to feel the distance grow. On the corporate road, day one, you walk into that glass building. There's a lanyard waiting for you with your name spelled slightly wrong. You get a laptop, a Slack account, and a 30-minute onboarding video about the company's core values. It feels incredible. You have a paycheck coming on the 15th and the 30th. Like clockwork, like gravity. You tell your parents. Your mum cries a little. This is what safety feels like, and safety feels like relief. Now the other you, the one who didn't take the job, or took a worse one to pay rent and works the business at night, that you spends day one refreshing a payment dashboard that says zero. You built a checkout page. Nobody bought anything. You go to bed at 1 in the morning with a knot in your stomach that the corporate you will not feel for years. This is the first thing nobody tells you. In the beginning, the entrepreneur road feels like losing. There's no lanyard. There's no David telling you you're a great fit. There's just silence and a number that says zero. And you have to decide the silence means something anyway. 6 months in, corporate you gets the first real taste of the machine. You learn that the actual job isn't the work. It's being seen doing the work. You watch a guy named Marcus, who does almost nothing technical, get praised in the all-hands meeting because he knows how to say, "Let me take that offline," and circling back at exactly the right moments. You start to understand the real currency here isn't output. It's visibility. It's who likes you in the room where your name comes up when you're not there. You get your first tiny raise, 3%, and it feels like a pat on the head. You're grateful, and gratitude in a corporation is the leash they never have to mention. Meanwhile, the other you finally got a sale. One sale. $19. And I need you to understand what that $19 did to your nervous system. Because it's not about the money. A stranger, someone you've never met, who owes you nothing, decided your thing was worth their money. That's not a paycheck. A paycheck is someone renting your hours. This is proof that you can create value out of thin air and get paid for it directly, with nobody in between deciding what you're worth. Corporate you has never felt this and won't, because corporate you will always be told your worth by a committee. Entrepreneur you just learned it's decided by the market. That's the fork. Right there. Not the money, the source of the verdict. 1 year in, the gap starts showing its teeth. Corporate you is doing well. You got moved to a better team. You have a mentor. You've learned to read the org chart like a subway map. You know which stations are dead ends and which ones the promotions run through. You make $71,000 now. You have a routine. You have weekends that are actually weekends. And you have a quiet, creeping thought you push down every Sunday night, that your ceiling was decided the day you signed. And every raise is just them slowing down how fast you leave. Entrepreneur you at 1 year is a mess by comparison. You made maybe $9,000 all year from the business. $9,000. Corporate you made that in 6 weeks. You're exhausted. You've had 2 ideas fail completely. You maxed a credit card testing ads that didn't work. Your friends have stopped asking how it's going because the answer is always slow. On paper, you are losing this race badly, and anyone looking at both of you right now would tell entrepreneur you to grow up and get the badge. But here's what's happening under the surface that the paper doesn't show. Corporate you is accumulating salary. Entrepreneur you is accumulating something else. Skills that compound. You learned to sell. You learned what people actually pay for versus what they say they want. You learned to build a thing and put it in front of strangers. Corporate, you learned how to navigate one company's politics. Those skills go in opposite directions the moment either of you leaves the building, and someone is about to leave the building. Year 3. This is where the two lines stop being close enough to compare with a straight face. Corporate, you got the promotion. Real one this time. You're a manager now, $94,000 a year, and there's a title in your email signature that your 22-year-old self would have wept for. You have direct reports. You run a meeting, and somewhere in month 4 of this new role, you notice something that never quite leaves you. You are now spending most of your day protecting your position rather than doing anything. You defend headcount. You write documents nobody reads to prove your team matters. You learn the deepest secret of the corporate machine. That above a certain level, the job stops being about creating value and starts being about not becoming the person they cut. You're good at it. That's the scary part. Meanwhile, entrepreneur, you've finally cracked it. Not overnight. It never happens overnight. That's the lie they sell in both directions. One of your offers hit. You found a thing people actually wanted, priced it right, and put it in front of enough strangers that the payment dashboard stopped saying 0 and started saying numbers you had to look at twice. You did $140,000 in revenue that year. After costs, you kept less than corporate you takes home. Maybe 70. So, on the take-home line, you're still behind. Still, 3 years in and the badge is winning the money game. Hold on to that, because everyone quits right here. One step before the thing they were building becomes the thing that changes everything. Year 5. Watch the distance now. Corporate you makes $130,000. It's a genuinely good life. You have a nice apartment, a car you like, and a calendar that belongs mostly to other people. You've also started to feel a specific kind of trapped that money makes worse, not better, because now leaving costs you the $130,000. The title, the identity you've spent 5 years building. They call it golden handcuffs, and the handcuffs are real. Every year you stay, the door gets heavier. You're not staying because you love it. You're staying because you can no longer afford to be a beginner at anything entrepreneur you, year 5, hits the thing corporate you can never hit no matter how high the title goes. You hired 2 people. You built systems, a product that sells while you sleep. An email list of 11,000 people who trust you, a machine that doesn't need your hands on it every hour. Your business did $400,000 in revenue. You paid yourself $180 and reinvested the rest. But the number isn't the point. The point is this: your income stopped being tied to your hours. Corporate, you sells time. Always did, always will. Even at the top, because a salary is just a nicer word for renting yourself out. Entrepreneur, you built an asset. One of those things you can sell someday. The other one disappears the day you stop showing up year 10. The starting line was $400 and 2 emails. Look where the roads ended. Corporate, you as a director now. $210,000 a year. Respected, secure, and quietly wondering when exactly the ambition drained out and got replaced by the fear of losing what you have. You have real money in a retirement account you can't touch for 30 years. You have a life that works, and you have a ceiling you can see from your chair. Entrepreneur, you sold the business in year 9 for $1.4 million. You didn't get there faster. You got there slower, uglier, through the $9,000 year and the maxed credit card and the friends who stopped asking. But the money isn't even the twist. Here's the honest twist: both directions. Because it would be easy to say the entrepreneur won, and mostly, on the wealth question the title asked, they did. But the corporate, you never lay awake at 3 in the morning wondering if payroll would clear. Never lost a year of income to a bet that failed. Never carried the specific weight of every person you employed, depending on you being right. Corporate, you traded the ceiling for a floor. And a floor, when you have a family and a mortgage, is not nothing. It's the thing, entrepreneur, you spent a decade not having. And here's the part nobody says out loud. Both of you took a risk. Corporate, you just took the risk you couldn't see, betting that one company One economy. One org chart would keep needing you for 40 years. Entrepreneur, you took the risk you could feel every single day and slowly stopped being afraid of it. That's the real fork. Not safety versus danger. It's the risk you notice versus the risk you don't. So it's a Tuesday night again, and you're 22 in a parked car with two emails open. The safe one still feels like relief. The blank one still feels like nothing. But now you know. The ceiling was in one of those emails from the very first day, and you were the only one who ever got to decide which.